All right.
All right. Here is our latest stop. It's KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska. We are talking to Blake Barnes of Bronco's Hamburgers. They are obviously on the Nebraska Beef Passport in the Omaha area or in Omaha. Blake, first off, we were able to stop there. I know we're doing a little bit of a different interview for our video side of things, talking with you right now, but we were able to stop. And first off, you have a really nice place. We stopped at one of the two locations in Omaha. Thanks for having us there the other day.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler. I'm excited to be a part of your show, and I appreciate you stopping out.
Let's talk about the history of Bronco's Hamburgers. I understand, Blake, that this is going back to your grandfather, kind of getting things going, that this is a family business. Tell us the history of Bronco's.
It's pretty interesting history, actually. It's as Americana as it gets. So my grandfather, Bronco Billy Barnes, he started Broncos back in 1959. He got the name from he used to play Cowboys and Indians as a kid, and he wanted to appeal to kids. And this was kind of a new concept. Our slogan on our sign says "Serve yourself and save," which today doesn't resonate as much. But in 1959, it was, "What do you mean, serve myself?" Well, there was no server that would come to your table, so people would walk up to the window, they would get their food immediately, and that was a new concept. But he opens in '59, and he started going and going, and before you knew it, he had about 15 locations open between Nebraska and Iowa, and Kansas and Colorado and Arizona and California, and he was doing very well, franchising the business, and it was taken off. And then in 1974, he died suddenly. In 1974, he was going in for a surgery. It was just an ulcer surgery. It was kind of a routine type of surgery, and unfortunately, they said, "Don't eat anything for 24 hours before you go in." And he says, "I'm going to have a steak dinner tonight." Well, that ended up being the demise of him.
Wow, that's unfortunate,
Yeah.
especially as we're here talking about Nebraska beef. We're promoting beef, and that didn't help him out at the end of the day.
No, it was really that it was not supposed to have anything to eat, and so it wouldn't have mattered what he had. But I'm sure he enjoyed his steak as a dinner.
Fair enough. Let's talk about then how things have evolved, obviously, right, since when he started it many, many years ago to where you guys are at now, and in how your menu and the places have evolved. You get that really old-timey diner feeling, kind of, if you will, when you walk in. They're talking about the evolution of Broncos.
Yeah, and the main thing about it is really we haven't changed anything, and that's kind of the funny thing is my dad always says, we remodel these stores every 50 to 60 years, whether they need it or not. Well, we're going on 65 and a half years or so, and we've never had to remodel it. It is that old school. We keep it clean, we repair things, but bottom line is it really hasn't changed. The food hasn't changed. And I think that's what people like about it, is that nostalgia. Their grandfather took them there, their parents took them there, they take their kids there. So it's a generational type thing. And we still do the hand cut French fries from whole potato every day, which, we go through almost literally a ton of potatoes every single day between the two stores. And so it's really just, like I say, it's as Americana hamburgers and French fries as it gets.
Yeah, this is the Beef Passport, so obviously we got to talk a little bit about beef options that you guys have there at Bronco's Burgers. And let's talk about what you guys are known for. We had the burger and the fries, fantastic, by the way.
Thank you.
But talk about the rest of your menu and beef options that you guys have.
Sure. And the beef, honestly, we've always had a Nebraska beef ever since 1959. Over time, some of the vendors that we've had have not stayed in business, but we currently use Del Gould out of Lincoln, Nebraska, and they're a fantastic partner. Del Gould is also a third generation family business started by the grandfather of the current person who owns it, Del Gould. And the gentleman's an older guy, but like I say, they've been in business, I think, since the 30s. And it's just fantastic beef. The burger that we actually use is an 80-20 cut. And basically, we don't season it. And that's the secret. We literally don't season it. Our standard burger comes with pickles, onions, and mustard. And that's the seasoning. It's the beef that really speaks, and it's that good.
And I think that's what has been fun about this entire journey throughout the entire state this year and stopping at different locations is you get a lot of fancy burgers, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Where you're going to do some jams, peanut butters, all those different kind of random things. But I think Jacob, who's not here right now, obviously we realized is that the more plain, the better. Like just the simple, the better.
Yeah, the beef is that good. It's a standout product, and it's kept us, in business and thriving on 59. So it stands the test of time because it's a timeless flavor. Everybody loves beef.
What else do you guys have there on your menu? I know, again, this is a beef passport, but I know you have other items as well. Talk about those.
Sure, we have pretty much all the proteins that you might expect. We would have a pork tenderloin. We hand bread our pork tenderloins every day. We cut them from whole loin every single day. We've got fresh chicken, and the chicken is it's a broast. Well, I can't say broasted. It is a pressure cooked chicken, but it's fresh, never frozen. We do a fish as well, which of course fish does have to be frozen, but we have pork, chicken, fish. And I mean, no shrimp. We're not kind of. Sometimes during Lent we will bring in a shrimp, but for the most part, it's the beef that carries us through everything.
Again, today we're talking to Blake Barnes of Bronco's Hamburgers. It's our latest stop of KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska, our red meat road trip. Why is it important, do you think, that people have continued to come back and supported you and your family and Broncos for many, many years and been known for that burger? Why do you think that is, and they enjoy having Nebraska beef?
I really think it's the best flavor beef in the world. I mean, it's we ship worldwide for a reason. We've got a lot of brands that I don't know if I should mention, but are worldwide brands that come right out of Nebraska, and it stands the test of time because it is that good. The quality of the product is something that keeps them coming back.
And you guys, as you mentioned, haven't really changed a lot in terms of what the place looks like, the overall atmosphere of it. Why is it important to kind of keep that the same?
Like I said, in this world, that's the only constant is change. Things change all the time, and society changes and everything. But I think those flavors that they remember that when they were a kid, even the sizes of the burgers. It is funny because we still have a smaller burger, but in 1959 that was the standard appetite, and now people like getting doubles and triples and quadruples. But our patty sizes stayed the same. There's something about that meat cheese ratio where you've got a piece of meat, piece of cheese, piece of meat, piece of cheese that gives it a nice bite. But the bottom line is I think that the beef itself is such a standout product that's going to keep us in business for years to come.
And one of my favorite parts and one of the coolest things about you guys kind of separates you from everywhere else we've been is you can get a burger at 9:30 in the morning. I think it's at 8 o'clock, right? Tell us the hours.
9 a.m. Yeah, 9 a.m. we open, and we do serve a full menu: breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything.
Has it always been that way?
Always been that way.
Wow. And do you guys have a lot of people that roll up for breakfast and say, you know what, I'm going to have a cheeseburger?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I think that's what's interesting is we do carry breakfast, but we sell more burgers than we do breakfast, even from that 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's interesting. I don't know why, but you know what? People are not always on the same schedule as you and I. So there's overnight people, and there's nurses and doctors and truckers and all sorts of people that carry different hours than the standard 8 to 5. And if they come in at 9 o'clock, that may be their dinner.
Yeah, I can't say I've had many burgers at 9:30 in the morning, but it was a fantastic burger to get the day started at 9:30.
Thank you. We appreciate you, Tyler. Thank you.
Why was it important for you guys to be on the Nebraska Beef Passport program?
Well, it's an honor, first of all. I mean, it's a great program. People come in and they get to come in and be on the stop and get the check mark showing that they've been there. And I think that the Nebraska Beef itself has all of these partners because they've looked into it. The people have suggested it, and it's something that just gives a good value to both us as a restaurant and to Nebraska Beef itself in the way that we prepare it and the nostalgia that comes with it. So no, it's been a fantastic program. We really appreciate being part of it.
Blake, it's interesting when we are going around on the Beef Passport, and we've recently been talking to a lot of lockers or meat shops in particular. They talk about the meat prices, and obviously, as we all know, the cattle prices are going up, which is great for our farmers and ranchers, but obviously for the consumer, paying a little bit more. From the restaurant side of things, have you guys noticed that? And has that been, if you have, or whatever it may be, has that then been different in terms of how that reflects on your menu?
Believe it or not, Tyler, we're paying the same for beef as we did in 1959.
Wow.
No.
How'd you get so lucky?
No, I don't believe that one.
Okay.
Our first price point for retail selling a burger was 15 cents. And it's so funny because 15 cents at that burger went up to 17 cents. And you know what? Business went way, way down. And my grandfather's like, you know what? Let's go back to that original 15-cent price point. And then Katie bar the doors, everybody started coming back and it was crazy. But yeah, times are going to change. Of course, prices are going to change. But the real value of it is just the quality of the product. I mean, you can't keep the same price since you had since 1959. Yes, beef prices are raising. There's a lot of reasons for that, but so is everything else.
Talk about in terms of where you guys are located. Obviously, you have a couple locations there in the Omaha area. And as we have been a lot of places, obviously in rural Nebraska, but in the city, it's been nice to talk to and getting a different conversation mindset from those that are owning businesses but supporting Nebraska beef in the city.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Omaha natives and those in around Omaha region, they really gravitate towards you guys knowing that, hey, we got some really good beef that we can eat?
Yeah, I think there's no question. Actually, the areas of town, to answer your question, we're on 45th and Leavenworth, and that's right by the University of Nebraska Medical Center. Very popular area. It's very, very busy. They've recently done a major overhaul of the roads and stuff. And now it's a big wide open space. But that Leavenworth location, that was known in the 50s and 60s as kind of Neon Row. There were several different neon signs. We have one of the largest neon signs in the state of Nebraska. Since 1962, that sign has stood on 45th and Leavenworth. And so then you have La Casa Pizza, and you had Charlie Graham's, and there's a lot of neon, but us and La Casa are still those neons on 45th and Leavenworth. And then on 120th and Pacific, that's the other location, we weren't able to do the same signage that we did in 1962, nor does anybody really do much neon that way anymore. But yeah, we're over on 120th and Pacific, which kind of midtown Omaha now. It's Omaha really goes from the river, 0 Street, all the way out to 205th and Elkhorn, and we're right on 120th, so we're kind of right in the middle. And 45th is kind of closer to downtown and eastern Omaha.
Bring back the neon signs, right?
Yeah,
We need more neon.
yeah. If we could just make it go down in price, that's the thing.
There you go.
When you have one or two that do it, it's a very specialty thing. And hail and neon don't mix well, so you're constantly doing something.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially here in Nebraska.
Right.
All right, as we wrap things up, Blake, talk about the locations that you are again. I know you just mentioned those 2 locations in particular in the Omaha region, and then the times and the days that you guys are open.
Sure. We're open 7 a.m. or 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And we keep winter hours, so we close at 9 starting this week. But during summer we're open till 10. But yeah, it's always 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week.
And again, those 2 locations,
120th and Pacific and 45th and Leavenworth.
All right, very good. That is Blake Barnes, part of Bronco's Hamburgers. It's our latest stop of KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska.